The snap-tight assembly system locks end channels to all sheets without the need for tools or fasteners. To assemble each panel, the perimeter channels are secured to the top and bottom of each sheet. Gently tap the channel over the snap-tight lugs and work your way along the sheet. Each channel should be fit to the center of each sheet. Simply tap the channel along until it's aligned. We're going to join our spliced channels now. Basically, we're just joining a pair of channels together to make a longer one. There are three parts: a left channel, a right channel, and the joiner. Looking at the part numbers, you'll see that the left channel has the letter L and the right channel has the letter R at the end of the part number. There are also printed arrows pointing to the end of the channel that needs to be joined. The joiner, called a CSJ, needs to be put in the right way to match the channel. Make sure that you've got the long sides matched up. Place the CSJ centered on the end and press in as shown until you hear it click. Repeat this with the other side and then make sure that both halves are butted up against one another. Do this for the rest of the spliced channels in the pack before beginning construction. Let's do the rear panel assembly. To construct the rear panel, we'll need two Q33 sheets, one Q32 sheet, one C20 channel, one L67 channel, and three hinges. Lay out the sheets with the Q32 sheet in the middle. Make sure that the Q32 sheet is on top and that it's overlapping its neighbour sheets by one rib. Make sure the ends of the sheets are flush at the overlap. Use the holes in the top sheet as a template and fasten into the sheet beneath using the self-drilling screws. Use 3 more screws at the other overlap. Great! Now grab that C20 channel. We'll attach it to the sheeting using the snap-tight method. Make sure you've got the short side of the channel to the outside of the sheet. Good. Now take the L67 channel and attach it to the other side of the sheeting. Secure the halves of the channel to the CSJ with 2 self-drilling screws. Okay, align the edge of the sheeting with the end of the channel. Then secure it with a self-drilling screw through the hole in the channel and into the sheet. Repeat for the 3 remaining corners. It's time to attach the hinges. Stand the panel up with the C20 channel at the top. Grab a hinge and take care to orientate it properly for this step. Have it so the bump of the hinge faces down and hangs out to the outside of the panel, as shown. Align the holes in the hinge with the holes in the channel and fasten with 2 pop rivets. When you get to the middle, use the supplied 3mm drill bit to drill through the CSJ before riveting. Now it's time for the side panel assembly. We have 2 identical side panels to make. We'll make them one at a time. To make the side panel, we'll need 1 Y81 sheet, 2 61G channels, and 1 B85 lip. Make sure you have the sheet orientated as shown, with the edge holes to the right. Take the 61G channels and attach them to the top and bottom of the sheet using the snap-tight method. Take the B85 lip and place it on top of the sheet and inside the channels. Make sure the face with the 2 holes is on top. Next, using these holes in the lip and the end holes in the channels as a template, fasten into the sheet beneath with 4 of the self-drilling screws. Okay, 1 down, 1 to go. Repeat these steps to make the second side panel. To make the lid panel, we'll need 2 B91 sheets, 1 C67 sheet, 1 V74 channel, 1 D77 channel, 2 R14 lips, and 2 91J jams. Lay out and overlap the sheets by 1 rib. Sheet C67 must be on top, and make sure you've got it orientated so that the middle hole is to the front. Make sure the ends of the sheets are flush at the overlap before continuing. Use the holes in the top sheet as a template and fasten into the sheet beneath using 4 of the self-drilling screws. Attach the V74 channel to the rear of the panel using the snap type method. Now, take the D77 channel and attach it to the other side of the panel using the snap type method. Okay, align the edge of the sheeting with the end of the channel. Then secure it with a self-drilling screw through the hole in the channel and into the sheet. Repeat for the 3 remaining corners. Secure the halves of the channel to the CSJ with 2 self-drilling screws. Take an R14 lip and place it on top of the sheet and inside both channels. Make sure the face with the holes is to the top. Next, using these holes in the lip and the end holes in the channels as a template, fasten into the sheet beneath with 4 of the self-drilling screws. Repeat this step for the other R14 lip on the other side of the panel. Okay, flip the panel over now. Check you have the panel orientated as pictured. This center sheet hole will now be at this end. Take the 2 91J jams and orientate them as pictured. Align the end holes in the jam with this middle hole in the sheet. Align all 3 holes in these parts and then fasten from beneath with a self-drilling screw. Okay, now we're going to fix the other end of the lid brace. Measure 160mm from the bottom of the panel, align the jam and use the jam hole as a template and drill down through the sheet. To do this, use the supplied 3mm drill bit. Now do these steps again for the other side. Before you flip the panel over, make sure that you've drilled through these 2 remaining holes in the jams and into the sheeting. Use 2 screws to secure. Let's build the right door assembly. To make the right door, we'll need the door R sheet, 2 58C channels, 1 58Y channel, 1 58W channel, 1 91S jam, 1 door plate, 1 pad bolt, and 2 hinges. Orientate the door R sheet with the holes for the pad bolt in the top left corner as shown. Take the 58C channels and attach it to the top and bottom of this sheet. Okay, take the 58Y channel, it's the one with the hinge holes. Insert this longer 20mm side of the channel into the top and bottom channels on top of the sheet and let the bottom go underneath everything. Use a self-drilling screw through the end holes of these channels and fix into the sheeting underneath. Take the 58W channel and insert it on the left side of the panel in the same way. Use a self-drilling screw through the end holes of these channels and fix into the sheeting underneath. Finish off any holes in these jambs and channels using self-tapping screws. Align the door plate with the holes in the top left corner of the sheeting. Fix through the pair of holes in the sheet with 2 self-drilling screws on the top of the rib. These remaining 4 holes will be aligned with the pad bolt and then fastened with 4 more of the self-drilling screws. Okay, now we're up to the hinges. First, we need to take our 3mm drill bit and go through the existing set of channel holes. This clears out the sheeting on the other side so the rivet will fit. Take a hinge and orientate it so that the bump is to the outside. Also make sure that the free side of the hinge is above the panel as shown. Next, align the holes and secure using 3 pop rivets. Repeat this process for the lower hinge position. Flip the panel over. Now we're going to drill out and then rivet each of these corner channels together. Take the 91S jam and align its holes with the 3 in the sheet. Fasten the door brace from beneath using 2 of the self-drilling screws. Use these 2 holes in the 91S brace as a template and drill through into the sheeting beneath using the supplied 3mm drill bit. Turn the panel back over and finish fixing the brace with 3 screws. To make the left door we'll need the door L sheet, 2 58C channels, 1 58T channel, 1 58Y channel, 1 91J jam, 1 91A jam, 1 door plate, 2 pad bolts, and 2 hinges. To begin, take the door L sheet and make sure you've got it orientated as shown with the holes for the door bolt on the right. Take the 58C channels and attach it to the top and bottom of this sheet. Okay, take the 58Y channel, it's the one with the hinge holes. Insert this longer 20mm side of the channel into the top and bottom channels on top of the sheet and let the bottom go underneath everything. Use a self-drilling screw through the end holes of these channels and fix into the sheeting underneath. Okay, now we're going to finish off the other side of the panel with the 58T channel, making sure you've got it orientated like you did before with a long side to the top. Take the 91J jam and insert it into the top and bottom channels on top of this 58T channel. Make sure you have the side of this jam that has the holes that line up with the channel. Use 2 self-drilling screws to secure the jam and channel to the sheet. Finish off any holes in these jams and channels using self-tapping screws. Take the door plate and align it with the punched holes in the top right corner of the panel. Fasten with 6 self-drilling screws through these aligned pre-punched holes. Okay, now we're up to the hinges. First, we need to take our 3mm drill bit and go through the existing set of channel holes. This clears out the sheeting on the other side so the rivet will fit. Take a hinge and orientate it so that the bump is to the outside. Also make sure that the free side of the hinge is above the panel as shown. Next, align the holes and secure using 3 pop rivets. Repeat this process for the lower hinge position. Flip the panel over. Now we're going to drill out and then rivet each of these corner channels together. Now we'll fit the door brace 91A to the inside of the door. Align the holes in the brace with the holes in the door. Make sure you tuck both ends of the brace into the channels that frame the door. Fasten from beneath using 2 self-drilling screws. The top pad bolt is fixed with 2 self-drilling screws through this vertical channel. The bottom pad bolt is fastened with 4 bolts and nylock nuts through these holes in the door L sheet. Make sure you poke the bolt in from the outside and keep the nut on the inside. You'll need to use a shifter or a pair of pliers to hold the nut while tightening. Turn the panel back over. We'll finish the panel off using 3 self-drilling screws into the door sheet and into the brace behind. Let's make the front panel assembly. To make the front panel we'll need 2 of the narrow D64 sheets, 2 91K jams, 1 90AR and a 90AL jam, 1 79AL and a 79AR channel, and then 2 of the C64 channels. Orientate the sheet as shown and then take a 91K jam and cover this raw edge on the left hand side. Make sure that you have the face with the holes to the top of the sheet. Align the ends of the jam and sheet and use the holes in the jam as a template to fasten into the sheeting beneath. Use 4 of the self-drilling screws. Don't put screws in the end holes yet. Take the other D64 sheet and 91K jam and repeat these steps. Place these 2 sheets with the jams facing one another as shown. Take a C64 channel and attach it to the top of both of these sheets. Take care to align the channel hole shown with the hole at the top of the jam. The longer side of the channel will go into the slot at the end of the jam and then snap tight it onto the sheeting. When these holes are aligned, fasten with a screw. Okay, we're just going to repeat this on the other side now. Align all holes as shown and attach the channel using the snap tight method. Take care to align the channel hole with the jam hole and then snap tight this top channel onto the sheeting. When the holes are aligned, secure with a screw. Okay, that's the top channel on. Now we're just going to do the same for the bottom. Take the other C64 channel and repeat this process. Take the 90AL jam and orientate it as demonstrated, sliding the jam into the top channel. Align the end hole of the jam with a corresponding hole in the channel and fasten with a self-drilling screw. Other holes between these parts will also align, so fasten these too. Fill the remaining space at the top of the channel with the 90AR jam. Align the end hole of the jam with the corresponding hole in the channel and fasten with a screw. Add in a screw at the other end. Okay, now to the bottom of the doorway. Take the 79AL channel and orientate it so that the 20mm side of it goes into the bottom channel in the bottom right hand corner. Align the end hole of the channel with the corresponding hole and then fasten with a self-drilling screw. You'll find that other holes will align between these parts, so fill them with a screw as well. Fill the remaining space with the 79AR channel and fasten with 2 screws. If any further holes line up, fill those with a screw as well. The next step is to take the 3mm drill bit and go through the existing hinge holes, clearing the sheeting behind. Take the right door and lay it in the open position so the hinges dangle over their matching holes in the 91K jam. Okay, that's the right door attached. Now we've just got to do it with the left. The next step is to take the 3mm drill bit and go through the existing hinge holes, clearing the sheeting behind. Take the left door and lay it in the open position so the hinges dangle over their matching holes in the 91K jam. Align holes and use 3 rivets per hinge. To begin the final assembly, start with the front panel. Position it and then open the doors so it can stand up by itself. Next, take a side panel and orientate it so that the lip is to the front. This sidewall lip trim will slide into the front wall's top and bottom channels in front of the sheet. When inserted fully, fix with a single screw in the top channel as shown. Next is to use a rivet in the top of both channels. You'll most likely need to use the 3mm drill bit before inserting the rivet. Replace the screw at the top here with a rivet. This will stop a possible catch point for the lid later. Drill first, then rivet. Okay, to the bottom now. Insert the panel fully, then fix with a screw through the bottom channel. Alright, just 3 screws left on this corner. Screw through the guide holes in the lip and into the front panel sheeting. Using a 3mm drill bit first can make this a bit easier. That's the right done. Now onto the left. It's exactly the same, so just repeat these same steps. We're up to the rear panel now. Make sure you've got it orientated so the hinges are to the top. Match up the notch outs in the rear panel top and bottom channels with the side panel. Like we did at the front, align the top channel holes, run the 3mm drill bit through, and then rivet them. Using the edge holes in the side panel sheet as a guide, drill through into the rear panel. Fit a screw from the outside before drilling the next hole. Repeat this 2 more times to finish the corner. Move to the other back corner and repeat the process. It is absolutely critical the walls are square before proceeding. Failure to do so will make the lid not open or close properly. Check squareness by making sure both diagonal distances are equal with a tape measure. Now the walls are square, make sure they stay that way by using an L plate as shown. Position the plate, mark the 4 bracket holes, and then drill and rivet in place. Do the same for the other front corner. Okay, now we're going to work on fitting the props that hold the lid up. In the center of the second last sheet pan, measure down 25mm from the top channel. Swap out to a 4mm drill bit and drill through the sheeting. Take a 25mm long M4 screw and insert it from the outside of the wall panel and fasten on the inside with a hex nut. As these are nylock nuts, you'll need to hold the nut on the inside by using pliers or a shifting spanner. For the left side of the cover, you'll need to grab the 61P L channel. Align the end hole of the channel with the hole shown in the side panel, then fix with a screw. Make sure you go into the sheeting for a tighter fit. When it comes to the lid prop for the right side, it'll be the 61P R channel. Okay, we're up to fitting the lid now. Orientate the lid panel so the point of the V-brace is to the front. Place the lid panel on top of the walls and so that the lips are hanging over the sides. Go to the back now and see where the hinges come to meet the lid panel rear channel. Align the hinges in the back panel to the pre-punched holes in the lid channel. Make sure you've switched back to the 3mm drill bit and then drill through the pair of punched holes in the channel. Align the matching holes and then rivet. Repeat these steps for the middle and end hinge. Alright, now we're going to attach the pad bolt hasps on the front panel. First, shut the door. Then, take a hasp and place it on the edge of the left door and center it over the pad bolt shaft from the right door. Then, fasten using 2 self-drilling screws. The second hasp goes on the inside of the front panel for the bottom pad bolt of the left door. Place it on the bottom channel and center it over the pad bolt shaft. Then, use 2 self-drilling screws. Choose a place along the left door to fit the lid latch. The latch will be recessed into a rib on the lid sheet. The matching staple will be positioned on the top channel of the left door. You'll have to position them by hand, mark the hole locations, and then fit with pop rivets. Find a location along the lid that's going to be close to where your bin handles are. We'll position them where the lid sheeting overlaps. You'll need to make 2 marks per handle. One inset 160mm from the front edge of the lid and another 32mm in from there. Switch out your drill to the 4mm drill bit and then go through these marks. Align the tap holes in the C handle and then fasten with 2 of the 10mm long M4 screws from the outside. Do this again on the other side for the other handle. These will be used as a hitching point with a cord so you can open your bin lids when the cover opens. Firstly, position the shed onto the slab, making sure the walls are squared up and it's centered. Take your angle brackets and lay them out in the positions as shown, spacing them equally along each wall. Using these brackets as a template, go around and carefully mark where the holes are on the slab and on the wall. Drill 3mm pilot holes in the wall centered on these marks. Now switch out to the 10mm drill bit and drill through these pilot holes. Next, take your hammer drill and insert the 10mm masonry drill bit. Drill down through the marks we made earlier. Be sure to go down deep enough for the height of the dyno bolt. From the outside of the shed, take the 10mm bolt and poke it inside. You may need a friend to hold it there. Align the angle bracket with the bolt and then tighten the nut by hand. Tighten it further using the shifting spanner. Put the dynobolt through the bracket and into the hole in the slab. Tighten this nut on the dynobolt with a shifting spanner. Now that this has been done at all positions, the structure is anchored. Congratulations, you've just finished your 2308 WBCK.